Welcome back everybody for another episode. Matt the Bat here. And today we are talking about the new movie, We Live in Time. This stars Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. Directed by John Crawley, who did the 2016 film Brooklyn that starred Saoirse Ronan. I was looking forward to this movie. Number one, you got Florence Pugh. She is slowly becoming one of my favorite actresses to watch. You go back about, 2018, when she was in Fighting with My Family, Midsommar, and in 2019 with Little Women, and then obviously like Black Widow, and June Part 2 earlier this year. And I mean, like everything she's in, I enjoy her in. So this was number one. You got Andrew Garfield, who hasn't been in a movie in 3 years. His last movie was Spider-Man No Way Home. That will be 3 years in December of this year. That movie came out. And he started taking a little bit of a break in acting. And I like Andrew Garfield. I like him as Spider-Man. He's still never been my favorite Spider-Man actor. But actually, everything else outside of Spider-Man, whether it's his breakout role in The Social Network, or in the Mel Gibson film Hacksaw Ridge, or the Martin Scorsese film where he plays a priest in that. I mean, he's a really good actor. And so I was looking forward to seeing him again. And like I said, we haven't seen him in a while. So, and this is a romantic movie. So today, once again, we don't get that many romantic films anymore. I don't know why. Maybe that's why people don't want to get married these days or whatever. When you don't put out romantic movies, what do you expect? Positives. Andrew Garfield is great in this movie. He's charming, he's funny, he's emotional, he nails the dramatic scenes very well. There are a lot of dramatic moments in this movie. This is more of a drama romance, if you will, and comedy. There is humor in there. His chemistry with Florence Pugh is excellent. I could watch an entire movie of just these two in a room for 2 hours because their chemistry is so great. Now I want to see more of them. I want to see them do a romantic comedy together. I want to see them do another romantic drama together because they have such amazing chemistry. And it was something we haven't seen from Andrew Garfield play like that more. I mean, yeah, we saw that in the Amazing Spider-Man with Emma Stone. That's why I say their chemistry in the Amazing Spider-Man 1, Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield was so great. It was, to me, one of the best on-screen relationships in a comic book movie. And now I'm starting to really think it's Andrew Garfield. Because Andrew Garfield here is once again a great chemistry with Florence Pugh. You really believe them as a couple, their chemistry. And then moving on to Florence Pugh, I mean, she handles a lot of the dramatic weight of the movie. Her character's going through cancer, and she really nails those scenes. But like I said, then you get those romantic moments. And Florence Pugh, this is a rated R movie. There's a lot of nudity in this movie. And Florence Pugh is one of those actresses that doesn't mind taking it all off. So if you're going into this, just know there is a lot of nudity. Florence Pugh doesn't mind shaving her head completely. They have a scene in the movie where Andrew Garfield's shaving her head on camera. Just like Natalie Portman in V for Vendetta, just like Anne Hathaway again for Les Mis. That was last summer, that Oppenheimer premiere, where Florence Pugh's hair was so short. That's why. But yeah, and like I said, the chemistry between her and Andrew Garfield, I mean, it's great. I would love to see more of them working together because they pulled it off great. The humor, there's a humor throughout the movie. It's great, especially in the romantic moments. Them, having fun with one another. It's great humor. There's a scene in the movie that made me laugh. No, not just the scene, but then the following scene after it. After you see it in the trailer, Florence Pugh hits Andrew Garfield with the car, and just everything after that in the hospital, and then the next scene at a diner, it is just hilarious. I was laughing so much that I almost didn't hear what they were saying in the dialogue. It was just the scenario was just hilarious to me. Like I said, romance, there's a lot of romance in this movie. Their relationship building up and everything like that. A lot of romantic moments, a lot of steamy, sexy romance, sexy sex scenes in this movie. And they spared no expense with that. Drama, like there's a lot of drama. There's definitely a more romance drama film. Especially when we get into more of the second half of the movie, it becomes more of a drama than a romance type of film. My negatives though. This is the part where I tell people, and some people do not believe me when I say, yes, when you make a movie, you're going on set, you're filming the movie, you're technically making the film. But really, when you are truly making the movie, it's in the editing room. When you're sitting down at a keyboard with the editing software and you're editing your movie, that is where the film really takes shape. When you're filming, 90% of the time, you're filming out of order. And then sometimes you're coming up with stuff on the fly. Pages are being rewritten as the day of shooting. Actors will, come up with their own lines on the spot, like a Ryan Reynolds or someone, especially in comedies. But the actual movie takes shape in the editing room, and that is where you can make or break a film. I even seen that in some of my movies I made, where, one of the highlight films I made in high school, he went out and shot all that footage, but all he had was just footage. He had to put it together in the editing and make it look great, cohesive. Actually tell a story. And even in my senior film in college, my first screening of that, my professor was like, so we had to go back and re-edit and make it what it ended up turning out to be. And then even the montage in my senior film was not originally in the script. So that was something we thought about I thought about it when we were editing. But going back to this movie, the editing of this movie hurts the movie. This movie is non-linear. That means the movie jumps, all around. You start sometimes at the end of the movie, near the end of the movie, then you jump back to the beginning, you jump in the middle, and that hurts the movie. It completely hurts the movie. I don't know if that was the original intent in the script, or this was one of those things that in the editing room they said, hey, let's make it non-linear. And I say that because every time there's an emotional or a theme that you wonder what kind of decision are they going to make, we already know what's going to happen because you've already shown it in future scenes earlier in the movie. You know what I mean? You know, oh, you think she's going to have cancer? We know she has cancer because you've already shown it in a scene already in the movie because of how you edited the movie. Do you think they're going to decide to have a kid? Well, you've already shown the kid at like 4 years old. So yes, I think they have a kid. You know, it lessens that impact, that weight, those emotional moments that should have been a lot bigger and higher if the movie was linear instead of non-linear, jumping around all the time. And I think that's the main problem with this movie. Straightforward, linear, it would have been way, way more impactful, way more emotional in certain moments. And that's my biggest negative with this movie is the editing. And that's like what I said. Some movies, the editing can hurt the movie, and sometimes the editing can really make the movie great. And this is one of those times where the editing of last year's Oppenheimer that Florence Pugh was in. A 3-hour movie, or by the time we get to that third act, it's rapid, fast editing and moving that really helped that last hour of that movie. I give this like a 4 out of 5. I think the chemistry between Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh is what really elevates the movie. And those two did not have great chemistry, not to mention they're both great actors. Then I think this movie would have definitely gone even further down for me. But overall, I still think it's a really, if you're looking for a nice romantic drama, this is it. But like I said, I think a lot of the emotional impact of the movie is hindered by the editing. So, did you see We Live in Time? Let me know in the comments below. Matt here. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel.